While everybody was thinking about the cola war between Coke, Pepsi and Campa, Reliance very quietly launched something that could be even more disruptive here. This might be the biggest disruption in the Indian FMCG history, and this time the battlefield is bottled water. See, the packaged water market in India is booming. Over the past 5 years, bottled water consumption surged by over 40 to 45%. Despite this expansion, India's packaged water market penetration remains relatively low compared to global standards. It is roughly 0.5 liters per person per year compared to 45 liters in the USA and 111 liters in the Europe. The Indian bottled water market is valued at about $8.28 billion in 2025, and it is set to reach $13.65 billion by 2030 at a 10.5% growth rate annually. So this clearly shows the significant potential this bottled water industry has in India. To tap this potential, here enters Reliance. They have announced something that made the entire FMCG industry or the fast moving consumer goods industry sit up and pay very close attention. They have announced a 40,000 crore investment in the FMCG products in the next 5 years. That's literally more than the entire annual revenue of companies like Britannia and Marico put together. And specifically for beverages, they allocated 6 to 8,000 crore rupees. It would have been okay if it were any other company, but since it's Reliance, that's where a little bit of Reliance past become very important for us to know all about. See, back in 2016, Reliance did not just launch a telecom service, they basically made it impossible for you to escape it. They massively undercut the prices of mobile services in a way that competition just could not do anything about it apart from waiting and watching. They entered with impossible prices and waited for competitors to bleed. In the process, they captured the market share and then slowly raised the prices. The strategy here is brutally simple. Use the deep pockets to create a price war that nobody can survive, and once they are weakened, you are the one who owns the market. It worked in telecom, it worked in OTTs, and now Reliance is trying the same playbook in beverages. You know what makes Campa's strategy so fascinating? It's not just aggressive, it's clever in a very Indian way. For decades, Coke and Pepsi ruled the beverage scene in India, but their real genius wasn't just selling soft drinks, it was how they won over shopkeepers. Back in the 1990s and the 2000s, most small kirana store owners couldn't afford commercial fridges. So what did Coke and Pepsi do? They simply walked in with a smile and said, "Here, take this refrigerator absolutely free." They maintain it and service it regularly. And you can guess what could have happened to those competitors' bottles. That simple move gave Coke and Pepsi control over the last mile of India's cold chain. It became practically impossible for any other brand to break through, and just when it seemed unbeatable, Reliance decided to challenge the system. While Coke and Pepsi offered free fridges, Campa offered shopkeepers something even more tempting: cash. There are more than 200 local and regional brands operating in India, but nearly 75% of packaged water sales are captured by top brands like Bisleri, Kinley, Aquafina and Reliance. Reliance is stepping into this space with not just one brand but two brands, Campa Sure and Reliance Independence. And the strategy is clear: reward the shopkeepers and slash prices to win consumers. See, the usual retail margin on beverages sits between 10 to 15%, but Campa is offering 20% and sometimes more when bundled with Reliance other FMCG products. Now imagine you are the shopkeeper and each sale of Campa gives you 1.5 times more profit. Who do you push to your customer first? Coke or Campa? Even if customer asked for Coke, many would skillfully nudge them towards Campa, simply because it made more business sense. On top of that, in a price-sensitive market like India, we have been paying a premium for this purity ever since Bisleri built its empire on trust.
भाया ऊंट हैं, गधे नहीं।
अरे बिस्लरी निकाल बिस्लरी।
That single word purity turned bottled water into a status product. Reliance is now saying, why should clean water be expensive? Campa Sure prices are stunningly low: 5 rupees per 250 ml, 15 rupees per 1 liter, 25 rupees per 2 liter. In contrast, Bisleri, Kinley and Aquafina charge 20 rupees per liter and 30 to 35 rupees per 2 liters. Reliance Independence water goes even lower with 1.5 liters at just 20 rupees. That's a 20 to 43% price cut versus rivals. So on one hand, they are offering 20% margins to shopkeepers. On the other hand, 20 to 43% price cuts to customers. Even established players like Bisleri know that challenging Reliance on this front would be risky, because if they cut prices, their supply chain, premium brand positioning would go completely off balance. So all they can really do is now watch while Campa Sure grows. And here comes Reliance's second advantage. See, when new company launch a new product, they first worry about distribution, finding the right suppliers, logistics, warehousing partners, delivery network and retailers. But with Reliance, it became their biggest strength. Reliance isn't building everything from scratch. They are partnering up with 24 local water producers across India for bottling, packaging and branding. They have also announced plans to set up 10 to 12 new greenfield and co-packaging units for beverages. They can make their own products, deliver them to their own 19,500 plus retail stores, or sell them online through JioMart and even advertise them on Jio Hotstar. From manufacturing plants to retail store, from logistics to digital advertising platforms, everything sits inside one massive ecosystem. This keeps cost down, quality up and distribution lightning fast. And Campa doesn't have to fight for visibility because they already own it. So when Reliance enters a market, say bottled water, they don't just place their product, they flood the market with it. Take the example of Campa. They simultaneously launched Campa Cola to counter Coke and Pepsi, Campa Orange to fight Fanta and Merida, Campa Lemon against Sprite and 7-Up, Campa Power Up to versus Thumbs Up, and even Campa Cricket to challenge energy drinks like Sting. Because of this, within its first 18 months, Campa Cola generated over 1,000 crores in revenue. While it may not sound unique in terms of product range, the real play is in execution. Reliance doesn't need a unique product, it has something far more powerful: unmatched reach, deep pockets and total control of the retail network. So it's pretty sure that Campa Sure isn't going to be just another bottled water brand. However, it's not like they have a magic wand that turns every Reliance venture into a blockbuster. They have their own setbacks too. Like in the last few years, Reliance Retail has closed over 2150 stores. Then there was Reliance Timeout, which didn't go well. Okay, except that despite offering 10-minute deliveries via JioMart, they haven't managed to dethrone players like Blinkit and Zepto, which dominate the space. However, what makes Campa different this time, they are not starting from zero. They are reviving nostalgia. They have brought back an iconic Indian name from the 80s, but they are doing it with a brand new playbook. Essentially, Campa isn't behaving like a startup trying to prove itself, it is moving like an empire expanding its borders. The pricing isn't reasonable, it's predatory, just like they did with the Jio. The distribution isn't outsourced, it's fully owned, from manufacturing plants to 19,000 plus retail stores to your phone screens on Jio Cinema and Hotstar. Now it remains to be seen whether Reliance can outweigh trust and long established habits or not. What do you think? Tell me in the comments. That's all from today's video and I hope you have found it valuable. If yes, then hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more such insightful case studies. I'll see you in the next video.